Hello and welcome back to Alice Talks Football and welcome back to another live Manchester United news and transfer news show. Now, some shock news coming in that Manchester United reportedly close to signing Weghorst. Now, this hasn't been confirmed by Romano or Ornstein, so I would say take it with a pinch of salt. However, I'm sitting there going, this is an OK source, tweeting very confidently that we're signing Weghorst. I think, well, okay, he's a tall, physical target man that can play striker that's Dutch. So I could understand why United could approach him. And then I see a celebration of Weghorst today, almost waving bye-bye to the Besiktas fans. Now, no way Weghorst would reject us on loan. He'd love to come back to England. He'd love to play for United on loan, 100%. And he's not an awful player. Not Joao Felix, not Gakpo. We could do a lot better, but it just shows how broke we are. But, it wouldn't be the worst signing in the world. It wouldn't be the best. Now, obviously, we do want to wait until we see what Romano and Ornstein and Sky and some of the British journalists say on this, because this isn't by any far a done deal. But basically, reports are coming out from a decent journalist, tier 2, not tier 1, that this deal is basically done. It's very much advancing. It's nearly complete. It's the news on Weghorst. So, yeah, it's a bit of surprising news, people. First of all, how do you feel on this news as well? I'm hoping it's. I'm kind of hoping it's a waste of a story and that actually doesn't end up at Manchester United and it's just rumours. But at the same time, I don't think he's as bad as people are going to react. It did say breaking: Manchester United are advanced in the loan of Wout Weghorst. The Besiktas player is one of Manchester United's priorities, and negotiations revolve around playing the loan and are considered advanced internally. So reports are basically coming out from Santi Ouna that Man United are very, very close to Weghorst on loan. Now, I'm just going to make sure there's no updates coming in from reliable journalists, and if we do get updates throughout the live stream, I will let you guys know. But obviously, this is a celebration on the screen, and as you can see, he looks like he's saying like goodbye to them as well. Yeah, look, he's waving bye-bye. And that makes me a bit worried. I'm thinking he's waving bye-bye. What's going on? But it's basically said that Weghorst United is advanced and negotiations revolve around paying the loan, is the news coming in. I mean, again, it's not been confirmed by anyone tier 1. There was a report I want to talk about Man United signing Abubakar for, Ronaldo's teammate from Al Nassr, and reportedly we'd agreed to sign this player, and then it was told that we hadn't. So, there's a lot of fake stories going about. There's a lot of fake stories saying we signed this player, we signed that player, we signed this player, we signed that player, and we haven't, like Abubakar. However, this isn't an awful source. I mean, I'd say it's tier 2. It gets some things right, and that's why, when you think, okay, it's not tier 1, but it's a decent source, and Weghorst is now waving bye-bye. And the Besiktas players, all right, there is a chance, guys, that something might be going on here. So I want to talk about Weghorst, the type of player he is, and then I'll give you updates if any more news stories come on as well. But I have to say, this pretty much clear the path for Arsenal to get Joao Felix. If we do get him, what does it mean for Joao Felix as well? That is the worrying bit. Because United, reportedly, the news coming in is that, because of Bruno and because of Diallo, Joao Felix could very much choose United over Arsenal. This is the situation going on with Joao Felix quickly. Arsenal are making more effort than Man United to sign Joao Felix, but Man United are more likely to convince Joao Felix than Arsenal. If it came down to a 50-50 choice between Arsenal and Man United, Joao Felix is more likely to pick United because of the work Bruno and Diallo have been doing, reportedly. However, at the same time, Arsenal seem to be working harder on the Joao Felix deal than United. United seem to have stepped back because they don't like the loan fee and all of that as well. And so maybe we're so broke that we're now going for Weghorst, because if we can't get Weghorst, our backup is reportedly the Al Nassr striker that Ronaldo's gone to replace. And I'm not going to lie, the standards of this club have dropped. However, he did have a World Cup masterclass. You know what? I know he's nothing like Fellaini, but he very much screams Marouane Fellaini vibes as well. Rumours are getting worse. I can't wait till the Glazers go. I mean, this could be a rumour. I just want to categorise this. Although, he looked like he was waving goodbye at the Besiktas fans, and this is a decent source, but it is not confirmed yet. If we do get confirmation from someone of reliability, I will let you know. I'm sure if if this is true, we're going to get some kind of confirmation in the next hour before the end of the live stream from someone more reliable. I want to say this is not confirmed, but, you know, I don't know. It's a bit of a shock. I wasn't expecting this. I can see why Ten Hag would want him. If we get him, it's really broke. And what I could say is also this could be a tactic. This could be a tactic from United to get Atleti to lower the price of Felix. United might leak a story like this to the media, because I'll tell you this now, we get clickbait by the media a lot. We get clickbait by decent journalists a lot. And it's not that the journalists are lying to us, and it's not that the journalists are clickbaiting us, but Manchester United release news to journalists that they want journalists to put out. If we're fighting with Atletico Madrid over Joao Felix's loan fee, and then Atleti hear that we're about to sign Weghorst, they might go, oh, actually, you know what, let's lower our loan fee for Joao Felix. You know, that's what they might do. Maybe it's, you know, there's always the potential that this could just be a big game for United. Apparently, BT Sport said he's set for United on loan, so more reports going on. Embarrassing. Burnley don't even want him. I mean, guys, look, he's not my first choice. He's not in my top 10 choices, I'll be honest. But we've got more news coming in from BT that United are set to sign him on loan. So it's an interesting one as well. Matt says, can't lie, take Weghorst for 6 months, but Erik Ten Hag must want him. My thought on Weghorst is, does this mean Arsenal are going to get Felix and Chelsea Tur and we get Weghorst and Liverpool Gakpo? Probably. We always get the shittest one. My thought process on this is, if Ten Hag truly wants him, I'm okay with it. But Ten Hag's here slagging off the board in recruitment today, and then we go sign Weghorst in the evening. You know, is Ten Hag slagging off the recruitment because maybe he's found out today from the board that we can't afford Joao Felix and we're going in for Weghorst, and that United have had to quickly act on Weghorst today because we decided we can't afford the Joao Felix loan fee? Because Ten Hag's interview today talks about the poor recruitment at United, and it's a little bit of slander on the board and on the club. Could this be because Ten Hag's frustrated that they've missed out on Gakpo and Felix, despite Ronaldo's money easily paying the Felix loan deal? They just don't want to do it. And now they're going for Weghorst. Like, could that be some kind of correlation as well? And Nick said Weghorst may not be a top striker, but he's a good worker and he can run himself into the ground. And the perfect striker, we need someone to get into the headers and balls in the box. Yeah, I'll be honest, it's not an awful deal. It's not who I want. It's not the player that comes to mind, but he's not an awful player. I know he's a Burnley player. But I do think he gives off that Sebastian Haller vibe that obviously Ajax had that did quite well. He does score goals. He does have good statistics. Like, he's not an awful player, but is he a player United should be signing? Is it a bit embarrassing that, you know, United are signing this player? You know, is it a bit comedy? Is it a bit United? Yes. Let's actually tell you a bit about him. Let's get his statistics up, people. So he's actually got 8 goals and 4 assists in 16 matches this season. And we obviously, if you watched the World Cup, he came off the bench for the Netherlands and scored 2 goals against Argentina and took the game to extra time. He's 30 years of age. He is a forward. He was at Burnley, but Burnley can't afford his wages, so he's gone on loan to Besiktas, where, you know, the Turkish league, not the best. But anyway, if we look at his statistics this season, in 17 games, he has 8 goals and 4 assists, having played at centre forward. He is that kind of physical centre forward, 1.97 metres in height, very tall, does have that Sebastian Haller vibe that worked at Ajax, does give us something we don't have, in the sense of when we put balls into the box, there's no one there. We don't seem to have a target man. Now we've got a target man in the box to get on the end of crosses. It kind of gives me like low-key Fellaini vibes, even though Fellaini was a midfielder. But like at the end of games, you know, someone to just get that header out of nowhere and win you the game and come off the bench. He does, in a weird way, and don't come at me, guys, but in a weird way, this does make a little bit of sense, in the sense of it's not Joao Felix. Joao Felix would have been much better. But we need someone that can make an impact off the bench, add a bit of depth and score goals. And what Weghorst can do, and what said his name wrong there, and what we saw him do for the Netherlands is what Fellaini used to do back in the day. They used to just somehow come off the bench and just cause problems for the defenders because they're a bit unpredictable. They're a bit of a comedy player, and they would confuse the opposition and they would get a goal out of nowhere. And he's that big, tall, fuck-off striker you bring off the bench that's a bit of a meme that will always get a bit of a goal here and there. That's how I would describe him. He does get goals. We do need goals. He is a profile we don't have. He's not an awful signing, but is it Gakpo? Is it Joao Felix? No. If we sign him and that waves the path for Joao Felix to go to Arsenal, then that is very, very disappointing. You know, we've let Gakpo go to rival Liverpool. We'll let Joao Felix go to Arsenal, and Ten Hag's left with the 7th choice because the board don't want to spend any money and we're so broke we'll go for the cheapest option. It's a little bit embarrassing. I could talk about the player not being that bad, but the fact that we're signing him when Joao Felix is available on loan is absolutely embarrassing. So I'm hoping we get some updates come out sometime very, very soon to say, you know what, something's happening here, something's happening there as well. We might be going for Felix. There's reports coming out that Felix would want Manchester United over Arsenal because of Bruno and Diallo. And hopefully there will be some more reports coming out. And again, I keep wanting to remind you guys that this news is not confirmed as well. Al Nassr have terminated the contract of a Man United player they're keeping an eye on as well, who was a striker. And basically, Weghorst was the one skinning Maguire and McTominay at Turf Moor last season. If you want a bit of context on him as well, let's go over to Twitter again. Let's go over to the Twitter people. Let's get a bit of data analysis on Weghorst, a player that I've watched for Burnley, I've watched for the Netherlands. I obviously watch the other leagues, but basically Devil's DNA have come out with a bit of a report. I will look at the live chat in a second, so do let me know your thoughts down below. Erik Ten Hag probably noticed we're shit at corners as well. And I like this signing exactly what the team needs. Let me know your thoughts in the chat. Yes, should we do a poll? Let's do a poll, people. I want to see your guys' thoughts. I think people are split. Like, I don't think it's a terrible signing. I just think it's disappointing compared to the previous names we're linked to. But I don't think this guy is I think he's better than Ighalo. It's improvement on Ighalo. So at least United have improved. Ooh, lag. Why is my laptop frozen? At least United have improved in that aspect. But I'm going to quickly get a poll up here for you guys. I'm hoping it doesn't lag. My laptop is just absolutely started lagging. It's arse off. Weghorst, yes or no? I've definitely spelled that wrong, but we don't care. Let me know. Go vote in the poll because I know you guys like a cheeky poll. Let's continue on with the news on this as well. It does make us look very desperate, but also does make us look very broke. And a bit of Ten Hag will be licking his lips when new owners come in, plus getting a new board will be big help. Yeah, we will talk about Ten Hag slamming the ball. I think I will do a report. I feel like tomorrow's video, I will talk about Ten Hag going in on the board, saying there's too many average players at United. It's not a Burnley reject. It's that because Burnley are in the Championship, he wanted to leave Burnley on loan. Burnley, I'm sure, would have kept him as well. And he's an all right squad player, but we do need more quality. That's how I agree with. But the Devil's DNA have done a little bit of analysis on Weghorst, and they've said his Burnley stint was tough. He got 2 goals and 3 assists for a 6'5" man. At Wolfsburg, he got 7 goals and 1 assist. His best trait is obviously his aerial strength. He's got a good touch and movement to get into the box and safe passing. Very different profile to Martial. Decent for United on loan. Not, Ten Hag does enjoy a target man, a centre forward, evident from the way he used Haller, Dolberg, Kuntler over the years. The latter two often played in rotations with Tadic before Haller came to Ajax. Suspect this will be a similar rotation plan B option to have multiple attacking avenues, says Devil DNA. They make some good points here. I think Weghorst would come in and he would just be the backup to give us more options in attack. I think that would be the situation. It's now just come out. Guys, news has just come out now that Atletico Madrid have now lowered the loan fee for Joao Felix. So reportedly, as soon as we're about to sign Weghorst, Atletico Madrid are lowering the loan fee for Joao Felix. So either A, United have told the journalists to put out that we're very close to signing Weghorst to get Atletico to lower the fee and we go and get Joao Felix, or B, we're signing Weghorst. I think it's one of the two. Now, I actually don't think he's a bad signing for United, and I do want to get into the news as well on Joao Felix, because it's understood that Manchester United, it's understood to have the first option of Joao Felix given 48 hours to any match, any offer presented by any club. One sec. I want to get into the Joao Felix report, but it's understood, Manchester United understood to have first option on Joao Felix and will be given 48 hours to match any offer presented by another club. Reportedly, Man United are also leading the race for Joao Felix. Could Man United get both Joao Felix and Weghorst? I'd be very surprised if we got both Joao Felix and Weghorst, but you never know. I mean, that would be That would be good. I think Joao Felix and Weghorst, that would actually be a good January because you've got two attackers with two different profiles to up it as well. And the World Cup proved he's not a bad signing, but not great. He will have sort of issues we have in the strike department. We've got to get Felix with, though. I think if we got Felix and Weghorst, it would be a good January. I think if we just get Weghorst, it's a good bench option, but it's a disappointing January considering, Felix, Gakpo and the others as well. And basically a lot of people saying Burnley didn't want Weghorst, he must be shit. No, Burnley loaned him out because they were in the Championship and Weghorst did not want to be in the Championship. It's nothing to do with Burnley not wanting him or any of that as well. And why would Felix choose United over the top of the table Arsenal? Because there's less competition at United, and what Felix wants is game time. Felix could very much be rotated with Gabriel Jesus and Nketiah and Emile Smith Rowe. There's a lot less competition at United for Joao Felix. Also, Bruno and Diallo at Manchester United, and Joao Felix reportedly loves Bruno and Diallo. And two, Joao Felix can also play in Bruno's role and Rashford's role. And Joao Felix will see Anthony and Sancho aren't particularly performing. So the reason Joao Felix could prefer United over Arsenal is because of a whole situation going on with, him more likely to get game time as well. But guys, some breaking stories have just come out on Joao Felix as we speak. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to United Plug Twitter because we just got we will talk about Weghorst in a minute, but we just got some breaking news coming out on Joao Felix as of 7 minutes ago from Tom Hopkins. Now, he is not the best journalist in the world. He isn't a tier 1 journalist. Just going to throw that out there. This isn't a tier 1 journalist. This isn't a tier 1 source. But it was said that Atletico Madrid are now demanding a 9.5 million loan fee and a commitment to buy at 70.5 million from Manchester United for Joao Felix. Now, remember, not a tier 1 source. Take this with a pinch of salt. Take it with a pinch of salt. Again, not a tier 1 source. It was also said that George Mendes met with Atletico Madrid CEO Miguel Angel Gil on Thursday to present Manchester United's opening offer of Joao Felix, a straight loan of 3 million and a commitment to cover his wages. Now, he's not the most reliable journalist, but that we know that happened. We know that is a fact. We know that happened as well. It was said that Manchester United are understood to be the first option on Joao Felix and will be given 48 hours to match any offer presented by another club. So again, reporting that Manchester United are Joao Felix's first option. Now, obviously, take sources of a pinch of salt, but the reports are coming out that we are Joao Felix's first option. But again, as Gaz says, Tom Hopkins, who's that? Bit very not a tier 1 source as well. People say Felix will go Arsenal because Gunners are top of the league and guaranteed Champions League. Well, he's there on a 6-month loan, so I don't think Champions League is something that he's thinking about. It was also said, reporting, and now another source is getting on the Weghorst stuff, that Besiktas boss Senol Guens on about Weghorst's future says he does not find it appropriate to talk about someone's future. There's no such thing on our agenda. So he's not saying nothing's coming out of Besiktas about Weghorst. We haven't got any breaking updates on Weghorst, but it was said that United do have first option on Joao Felix. However, I would take this source with a pinch of salt. I would take it with a pinch of salt. However, we do know one of the things he said was true because that was confirmed by Fabrizio Romano as well. We've got a little bit more information to dive into as well. I want to talk about Weghorst. By the way, Weghorst scored 7 goals in half a season for Wolfsburg, and he scored 68 goals over 3.5 years for Wolfsburg. So Weghorst does have a decent scoring record. He's very good at applying pressures. He's quite good defensively. He's quite a good defensive striker. If we look at the good things about Weghorst, is he can be all-rounded in that defensive sense as well. I think we need both. Both would be ideal as well. And United need to pull the trigger on the Joao Felix news. 100% agree. 61% says yes, probably only sin and play in the World Cup. It's not an awful. If it's Weghorst or no one, it's Weghorst. But if it's Joao Felix or Weghorst, it's Joao Felix as well. Masterclass from the man, the myth, the legend, Ten Hag. You know what? In Ten Hag, I trust. If Ten Hag has gone to the board and said, I want Weghorst, if Ten Hag's truly gone to the board and said, this is the player he wants, then I will welcome him with open arms. Because Ten Hag knows a player. Ten Hag knows what he wants. Ten Hag knows what he wants to do. I mean, why not both? Both would be ideal. Maybe we'll get both. Maybe we'll get none. We don't know. Now, I think I'm very much, my thought process on Ten Hag, everything going around in the United spaces, I trust Ten Hag to do a good job. I trust Ten Hag's recruitment because all the signings we've brought into Manchester United so far have been very impressive. all the signings currently at Manchester United, I do very much rate. I do think they're all very good. I think Ten Hag's all is, apart from Anthony's been a bit iffy, and we will talk about that later. Casemiro, Martinez, Malacia, they've all been good. Ten Hag's improving players. If this is who Ten Hag wants, I'm happy because, you know, I trust Ten Hag if he wants the guy that, like, it's going to work out. Like, I have trust in Ten Hag. But better options as well. I swear he doesn't start for Burnley. Again, he left Burnley because he doesn't want to be in the Championship, not because Burnley wanted him to go. And Weghorst was one of the top scorers in the Bundesliga one season. He was. Actually, should we go back to his stats? Should we go back to Mr. Weghorst? His name's a bit of a tongue twister from time to time. But if we go back to the OG stats, we'll look at his stats through the season. So, okay, 8 goals so far this season. Not dreadful. If we go to last season, which wasn't his best season, I don't even think he played loads last season. He got 9 goals last season, but only 2 goals in the Premier League. But he did get a total of 9 goals last season. However, if he gets 2 goals for Burnley, that's about 10 goals for United. Because Burnley, I tell you what, Burnley could not play any more defensive if they wanted. Burnley could not be any more defensive if they wanted. So he did get 9 goals last season. Apparently, he played in the Champions League. Oh yeah, because he ran out. Yeah. Oh yeah. So he got a few goals for Burnley, and obviously he got 6 goals in 18 Bundesliga games. If we go to his 2021 season, he actually got, and this is 2 seasons ago, and this is probably why Ten Hag's looking at him, but he actually got 25 goals and 9 assists. And yes, this is Bundesliga stats. Look at Bundesliga stats. You know, 20 goals in the Bundesliga is about 4 goals in the Premier League. I get that, Bundesliga stats. But 41 games, 25 goals, 9 assists, 36 goal contributions in 41 games. He's got a goal in him. We've seen it at the World Cup. Like, he's not a god-awful player. He can score goals. He's firing quite well at Besiktas. If he plays for United, an attacking team, I'm sure that he will fire. He's gone to Burnley. You can't expect him to score loads of goals when he's playing for a side like Burnley as well. However, Bundesliga is an absolutely farmers league as well. And if we'll look at the season before, but I don't think any of the other seasons are relevant. If we go to the 1920 season, Weghorst again was in the Bundesliga and again got 20 goals that season. So we had 2 20-goal plus seasons in a row in the Bundesliga. Yes, it was the Bundesliga, so we will take that in mind. But he did get 2 seasons in a row where he did get those 20-plus goals. So people do need to know, if you don't know about Weghorst, like I know that he was pretty shit at Burnley, but I think everyone was shit at Burnley. He is very capable of getting goals, but he does scream Fellaini vibes, as I've said. And he's Dutch and Ten Hag knows him. So, I mean, that's my thought process. He's Dutch, Ten Hag knows the player and all of that as well. Would Joao coming mean the end of Sancho? Absolutely not, because Joao and Felix and Sancho would play very different roles in the squad and very different positions as well. I am worried. I am worried about Joao Felix to Arsenal now with this Weghorst thing linking up. I know there's obviously reports coming out saying that Joao Felix wants United over Arsenal, but as I said, we have to take the source with a pinch of salt as well. It seems, you know, we haven't got any updates on Weghorst from Romano or Ornstein or Whitwell yet. So I would say, although there's this big report that Weghorst is coming to United and stuff, we haven't got any confirmation from any tier 1 journalists in the UK scene. It's all very much come out. However, he's just started following Manchester United on Instagram, which is interesting. Weghorst has just started following United on Instagram, and he was waving bye at the Besiktas fans. So although there's no confirmation from, you know, the tier 1 sources, if he's following United on Instagram as of today and waving bye-bye to some Besiktas fans, it's a bit sus, guys. It's a little bit sus as well. 8 goals last season, that's not really impressive. It's not, is it? Let's be honest. And he's a good player. I think we just need Felix as well for a good January. I agree. I think, you know, if we get him and Felix, fine. But if we're getting him and letting Felix go to Arsenal, then it's absolutely unacceptable for Manchester United. Absolutely unacceptable as well. Unless Martial gets hurt, they aren't getting Felix. He's going to Chelsea. I think he's going to Arsenal, if I'm being honest with you guys. I think that United reportedly have an advantage over Arsenal, but United seem less interested than Arsenal. And if Ten Hag wants him, fine, I trust him. But if it's a board decision, forget it, says Richard. And Richard with the comment of the day here, absolutely agree with Richard. If this is who Ten Hag wants, if this is a player that Ten Hag's gone to the board and went, yeah, I want this guy, please do get him, la-di-la-di-la-di-la-di-la, then I'm like, all right, fine. But if it's the board said, nah, you can't have Felix for getting your Weghorst, and Ten Hag's like, what? Then I'm annoyed. Basically, Sekram Dikmi, after the match ended, spoke with the club and the player side and said there's a possibility that Weghorst will leave. Manchester United held a meeting with Burnley and Besiktas need to give approval for the player to leave. So reportedly it's just coming out now, guys. And if we go back to Twitter, some breaking news coming out that basically people in and around Besiktas are kind of confirming that Weghorst might go if Besiktas given permission to leave. That is the thing. If Besiktas given permission to leave. After the match ended, he spoke with the club and the player, and there is a possibility that Weghorst, I can't say his name now, will leave. And Manchester, and it's been confirmed that United did in fact hold a meeting with Burnley. So this news has just been confirmed by people in and around the club that we did have a meeting with Burnley. However, Besiktas would have to give their approval. Will Besiktas give their approval? I'm not sure, because he's actually doing very well at Besiktas, and it's in the Dutch news now that he's going to United. So more and more reliable journalists are picking up on this Weghorst to Manchester United news as well. People saying he's better than Martial. The Origi story, he could be our Origi. You know how Liverpool had Origi and he came on every now and then and scored a silly goal. I think he could be our Origi type player as well. And I think Ten Hag wants the player because the board don't have enough money for Felix and Gakpo. And I think that's the truth. I think United are very much pursuing this player because I think United were interested in Gakpo and interested in Felix. And the board obviously have not acted on Gakpo and Felix for the last couple of weeks. And that might be because we don't have the money as well. But basically, United have just gone out and gone, you know what, let's get freaking Weghorst because we cannot get Joao Felix, it seems, because we don't want to pay the money. Now, apparently, the report is coming out that that Atletico have just lowered Joao Felix's loan fee to 9.5 million, which I think is a decent deal, but I'm not 100% sure. So I would say, guys, definitely keep an eye on the Joao Felix story. It could be Weghorst and Felix, but if we are getting Weghorst, if Besiktas do give Weghorst permission to go, and by the way that Weghorst was saying goodbye, it meant that he very much might be leaving and expecting them to let him go, then I don't know what that means for Joao Felix. I think that would mean Joao Felix to Arsenal, even though United have put a bit of work for Joao Felix and Ornstein, and that's that he's our number one target. It's an interesting one. It's one to keep an eye out as well. Who is the guy? He's the guy that came off the bench and scored 2 goals versus Argentina in the World Cup to take us extra time. If you don't know who the guy is, he was also at Burnley, and before Burnley, he was doing very, very well in the Bundesliga. Thank you, Alex, for the super chat. If Ten Hag wants Weghorst, then I back Ten Hag's judgment. I cannot wait for Goldbridge's reaction if Harry Potter mate signs for us, says Alex. Appreciate the super chat, Alex, and I 100% agree with your comment. If this is the Ten Hag wants, I back it as well. And Mink says that Felix anything above 5 million is not worth it. I mean, is this better than overpaying on a Felix loan fee, guys? I mean, it's not my money being spent. Well, technically, it is our money being spent because the Glazers don't spend their own money to get Joao Felix. Would you take him over Joao Felix? Let me know in the chat. And as Gaz says, nearly 700 watching, guys. So please do go ahead and smash that like button if you haven't already. And, of course, subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football if you're new. If you do want to stay up to date with all the latest Manchester United news, transfer news, updates, and more, then Alice Talks Football is the place to be, keeping you up to date on all the stories. All the latest you need to know on Weghorst, Joao Felix, Thuram, and other players I will be updating you on. I've got a video coming out tomorrow morning reacting to Ten Hag's press conference where he's going to be slamming the board, slamming the players, saying too many people in and around Manchester United are average as well. So make sure you're subscribed because there is a very good video coming out tomorrow morning of Ten Hag rinsing the squad as well. And Felix is only a short-term fix. Atletico Madrid won't sell him for cheap, so why waste the money on it? Apparently, David Ornstein just tweeted Arsenal agreed terms for Joao Felix. Is that the case? Well, that would make sense why we're going for Weghorst then. Is that what is Ornstein just tweeted, or are we just being trolled here? David Ornstein. Has he tweeted? He hasn't tweeted in 5 hours. We're being trolled, or it's a fake account that's trolled you. David Ornstein hasn't said anything, but we do know that if we're going for Weghorst, I think that means Felix to Arsenal as well. And let's talk about our game with City. We will talk about our game with City, but we'll talk about that more nearer the time as well. We'll talk about that more nearer the time because we just got loads of news to get back into. But we'll go back into the news. Someone's just tried to troll me there. I mean, the timing would have been probably spot on as well. Someone did just try to troll me there, but Man United is signing Fellaini 2.0, but a striker edition, people. I mean, it seems like it. We don't know it. Obviously, he's got to get approval from Besiktas, but why is he waving goodbye? Maybe he expects for approval from Besiktas. Obviously, there's a lot of things to happen, but Weghorst and Fellaini 2.0, as we call him, to United, apparently it's close. Now, again, we still need to wait and see if Ornstein or Romana gets on this. The news has been out over an hour and we've had nothing from Ornstein and nothing from Romano. So I have to say, like, even though this news seems pretty accurate from other things that we're hearing, we still have to take it with a pinch of salt if we haven't got confirmation from the likes of Ornstein and us as well. Peter Crouch 2.0 as well. And Weghorst is no threat to Anthony, Sancho, Garnacho and Rashford, so I choose him. We need someone that can play striker as well, and he's a goal threat more than we have up front, and we need a goal threat. At the end of the day, whether you like him or not, we do need a goal threat. So he does bring that to the squad as well. Now, I do want to get into a few other bits and pieces, a bit more. Amad Diallo, guys, absolutely killing it on loan. Amad Diallo got an assist today in the FA Cup to help Sunderland go through. Even though Amad Diallo is the type of guy that even when he's not getting goals and assists, he's like man of the match. Amad Diallo gives me that kind of, not comparing him to Hazard or Messi, but you know when someone has the ball at their feet and they look so comfortable and they can make an impact without getting a goal or assist? Amad Diallo has that about him. He has that kind of Messi Hazard vibe on the ball, kind of low centre of gravity, kind of Hazard Messi vibe on the ball. Again, not the level of them, but when I'm watching Amad Diallo at Sunderland, he has been absolutely fantastic. And it'd be interesting to see if he comes back and competes with the likes of Anthony and Sancho next season at United, because we spent 30 million, well, 18 million, rising to 38 million on add-ons if he scores a certain amount of goals for us or something. We spent a lot of money on this guy, so he's got to be a highly rated baller. So I would like to see how this Amad Diallo guy turns out, because he's been absolutely exceptional at Sunderland. And I do think he's a Ten Hag player, Diallo, intellectual, left-footed, can play on the right, very good Ten Hag player. I'd like to see him get some opportunities under Ten Hag next season. I think him, like Garnacho, could very much influence the squad. And I have to just, off topic, I just wanted to talk about how good he's been lately as well. Memphis, for me, can play centre forward, right wing, left wing, and attacking midfielder. I want to talk about Depay and I want to talk about Thuram and the news around that for a second. My honest belief, and what I believe is going on right now at Manchester United, is I believe our number one priority is Joao Felix. I think our number one priority is Joao Felix. And I think if we do not get Joao Felix because he goes to Arsenal, or we hear that United have pulled out of Joao Felix, potentially we move for Thuram, potentially we move for Depay. Now, reportedly, we're moving for Weghorst. I'll be honest with you guys. I think right now we will hear nothing more on Depay or Thuram until we know what's happening with Joao Felix. I think once we know what's happening with Joao Felix, Thuram and Depay might be linked to United more. Both the players want to move, especially Depay. But as I said, this Weghorst thing could be our Felix replacement. We might not be getting Felix because we're getting Weghorst, but I don't think we will get Depay or Thuram unless Felix falls through. And if we get them, it's either we get them because we don't get Weghorst or we get them on top of Weghorst. I think that Depay and Thuram are players of interest. But I don't think United, and we know this from Ornstein and Romano, United are solely focused on Joao Felix, that I don't think United will do anything until they know Joao Felix is up. So if Joao Felix is going to Arsenal, maybe United make a move. Maybe United do something. Alex said he'd rather Weghorst than Memphis, as we desperately need a number 9 and a good goal scorer, and Weghorst is that, Memphis is not. Makes a decent point there as well. Are you tired, Alice? I'm a little bit tired, but I don't know why. I had a good night's sleep as well. This is when Weghorst comes in the Manchester derby to beat Man City. You know what? That's what we need. We need Weghorst to come on the Manchester derby and just absolutely smash up Manchester City as well. He was rubbish at Burnley, but he was good in the Bundesliga. So I know he wasn't great at Burnley. I'm trying to be positive, people. I'm trying to be positive. One, the deal's not done. Reportedly, it's close. One, this deal might not happen. It's not been confirmed by anyone tier one. It's just news and speculation. However, you've got people coming in and out saying this might happen, this might happen. One, it's not a bad mood. I'm trying to be positive. I'm trying to be positive about Weghorst. I don't actually think it's that bad of a move. I just don't think it's the move we need to do. Alice is trying her best to be positive on the story, because if not, she's going to go insane as well. Chelsea will probably beat us now. I want to talk about Chelsea. I've got a bone to pick with Chelsea. Todd bloody Boehly. I don't think Todd Boehly knows anything about football. I think Todd Boehly sits on Twitter, follows United Plug, United Report, the Arsenal equivalents of it, the Tottenham equivalents of it, the Liverpool equivalents of it. I reckon Todd Boehly just sits on Transfer News Twitter, and every time a rival's linked to a player, Todd Boehly goes, okay, let's buy this guy. Because I don't think Chelsea have signed anyone that the rival hasn't been linked to in bloody ages. It's like Chelsea are in for Mudryk, Chelsea are in for Joao Felix, Chelsea will probably come in for Weghorst now. I don't know what it is about Bohi, but I feel like he knows nothing, and he's just like, as soon as a player's linked to another Premier League side, like Arsenal or United, he's like, all right, let's go sign that player. I feel like Chelsea aren't doing their own scouting. Apparently, Sporting agrees to sell Nuno Mendes on the last day of the transfer open market, and that he had contact with Manchester United, Real Madrid, PSG, Man City, and Barcelona. Is a story coming in. But Weghorst has just started following United on Instagram. He's just started following United on Instagram, and new reports are coming out saying the deal is very close, guys. I mean, I think it might be happening. I think we might be getting Weghorst, which means we might not be getting Joao Felix. Because if you look here, he's just started following United on Instagram. This is, I'm hoping this means nothing in the Joao Felix situation. I'm hoping it means absolutely nothing in the Joao Felix situation. But I'm worried this doesn't look good for Joao Felix, because although Arsenal want to sign Mudryk and Felix, United want to do the bare minimum and not sign anyone at all. And it sounds like Chelsea scouting is out of business. Chelsea definitely is. I think Chelsea need a new recruitment team. I think United need a new recruitment team as well. But he's just started following us on Instagram. He didn't follow us on Instagram yesterday. He's only started following us on Instagram now. So it's looking more and more like it could happen as well. And I could see us getting Weghorst as Ten Hag knows him, a Dutch player. Then in the summer, new owners will probably get Kane if Spurs don't get top four. I agree. And you never know. Weghorst could actually be could be our Robin van Persie. I don't think he will be, but if Man United could sign any old player in their prime, you'd want to sign Robin van Persie for us right now. So maybe because he's Dutch and he's big and he can play striker, maybe he can be our Robin van Persie as well. People say better than Depay, we shouldn't be recycling players. What happened to Pogba and Ronaldo? Is it true we shouldn't recycle players? You make a good point there as well. But I mean, I'm hoping he can be our RVP. You know how Robin van Persie did that season where he just scored a shit ton of goals. I mean, that's what I'm hoping for. I don't expect that, to be honest. I don't feel like we're going to get that, but she's just hoping for it, hoping we get that in and around happening as well. Keep smashing the likes, guys, and of course, subscribe down below if you're new. If you do want to stay up to date with all the latest mentioned, oh, throat's gone. Water, one sec. If you do want to stay up to date on all the latest news, do subscribe. We're on 55,999 subscribers. So I'm only one subscriber away from 55.6k. So people, you might as well get and click on that subscribe button to help me hit my target because we're one subscriber away. Carrying on. Don't get back with your ex, rarely works. Good analogy on Depay. Good analogy. You make a good point there. And Weghorst is 30 years old, so he should be reaching his prime. He's probably coming out of his prime, but he's probably, if it's a 6-month loan, you probably get a good 6 months out of him as well. I'm hearing some rumours about a back, whatever it's called. No, I don't think that will happen. I think that will be a significant downgrade. Significant downgrade. Mark Nurse has rubbish talk. I mean, Mark, I'm hoping it's rubbish talk and we go and get Joao Felix. However, I'm not that bothered about Weghorst if we get him or not. I don't think he's an awful player. But we're waiting for some confirmation of a tier 1 source, really. We need some kind of tier 1 source to confirm this might happen as well. But we haven't heard anything from Ornstein yet. We haven't heard anything from Romano yet. I'm sure they're trying to figure out what's happening right now. But we'll have to wait and see. But he's not got loads and loads of goals, but he, as you can see, he does score goals. I want to show you his statistics. If you just join the live stream, he didn't get loads and loads of goals at Burnley, but before Burnley, he did get loads of goals. He showed you his statistics earlier, but this was his stats before he went to Burnley. 20 goals, 16 goals, 17 goals in the Bundesliga. He got over 15 goals 3 seasons in a row in the Bundesliga, so he can score goals. He didn't score goals at Burnley, but as soon as he went to Besiktas, he did score goals. At the Netherlands, he did score goals as well. People are saying Weghorst is shit. What's wrong with you lot? Yeah, look, compared to Felix and Gakpo, he is. But United in a desperate situation where if it's him or nothing, you pick him. Don't you? You pick him over nothing. If it's him or nothing, I pick him because United are in a desperation situation where, you know, we need to get the best that we can. We need to bring in people ASAP. We need a striker ASAP. So that's what you've got to do as well. And he's 30. I just think he's very Fellaini-esque. He's going to give me Fellaini vibes. He's not going to play regularly. he's just going to come off the bench and kind of be that banterful kind of player, if you get me as well. And Laurie Whitwell has just confirmed, guys, we've just got confirmation in from Laurie Whitwell. So the news is true. The news is true. A tier 1 source has just confirmed this. Manchester United have held talks with Burnley over a potential loan for Weghorst. He's only saying we've held talks so far, so there's probably still more to come. It's not done. The report saying that deal's nearly done is not done. But Laurie Whitwell has confirmed the news that we are in for Weghorst. It's finally been confirmed by a tier 1 source. He said that Manchester United see Weghorst as an option to fill a void in the striker position, with the club deciding to only pursue loan deals this window. It's thought that no permanent options are being assessed, even at a low cost. So he has confirmed that United are looking at him on the loan deal as well. So, yeah, I mean, I feel like this could be happening now. He also scores 2 goals for the Netherlands. He scored 2 against Argentina, who went on to win the World Cup. Exactly, good points there. But Laurie Whitwell, again, has just confirmed the news about Weghorst. So the news, the rumours, suggestions, it's true. United do want him as well. So big up Laurie Whitwell, who's an absolute tier 1 source as well. But basically, this just means that United have absolutely no money and that Manchester United are absolutely budget FC. Because I tell you what, if we're getting him because we cannot... If we're getting him because we cannot afford Joao Felix, it's a joke. But I'm going to be honest with you, Weghorst, not angry with the signing. Okay? The only thing I don't like about it is, are we getting him because we're letting Gakpo and Felix go to Arsenal and Liverpool, which I don't like. I'll be honest, he's not that bad of a player. He's not. He's not that bad. He scores goals. He has got over 3 15-goal seasons in a row. He's a profile we don't have. I know there's people going to be thinking, Weghorst, big, tall, fat-ass Burnley striker, what are we doing? It's the be-all and end-all. He's not a bad player. He's not a bad player. He's not a bad signing. It's not Felix. It's not Gakpo. It's not that level of excitement. And I think that I have a bit of disappointment in the fact that if we get him and we miss out on Felix to Arsenal, we've missed out on Gakpo to Liverpool, I don't like that. That's what I don't like. That's what I don't like. If we sign him because we're missing out on the other signings. But if we sign him, we sign Joao Felix, I'll be absolutely yes with this transfer window. Him and Joao Felix are the 2 players we need. Someone that can come off the bench and make an impact and give Ten Hag a different option, because we're very one-dimensional in attack. We don't have a target man in the box. And then Joao Felix that can cover the front 3 and help out. Him and Joao Felix, 2 signings in January, would be brilliant. But if we're getting him because we fucked up Joao Felix and Gakpo, it's a disgrace from the board, but it's not an awful signing. I'm telling you this now. He might be shit for us. I can't guarantee he's going to be good for us, but he does get goals. He's very similar to Sebastian Haller profile. I'm trying to do this to reassure you that he's not awful, despite him being a Burnley player. He's not awful. There's a player in there. It's not an awful signing. I'm telling you that now. I just want to reassure people it's not an awful signing. It's another old striker. It's not who we want. But there's worse fish in the sea. You know, it's not a Gala level bad as well. It's not a Gala level bad. You know, he can score goals. The only club he did not score goals for was Burnley, but no one scores goals for Burnley as well. And get Joao Felix if we're looking at loan deals. I think Joao Felix is better, but I don't know what's going on with Joao Felix as well. And United should borrow money from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers don't even generate a tenth of what we generate, because American football's only watched in America. Normal football's watched worldwide. That's the problem as well. And Man United have chosen a player who can't even run or press. But thing is, the reason we chose this is because he offers something different. All our players are very similar. Ten Hag wants a player that offers something different, that Haller-esque player. And Haller did very well at Ajax, okay? You know, this is a Ten Hag kind of player. And I wouldn't say Martial sucks. I like Martial, he's inconsistent. But he provides a lot more than Martial in certain aspects. It's not the ideal signing, but it's not awful as well. It's not a Gallo level. Like, he's better than a Gallo. Trust me, he's better than a Gallo. If we were getting that Abukar Cameroonian striker, that's an Gallo signing. This guy, he scored 2 goals in the World Cup. He scored 20 goals before he went to Burnley in the Bundesliga. Yes, I know it's the Bundesliga as well. But I think for me, I want to just tell people that I don't generally think this is a bad signing. I don't. I think it'll be disappointing if we miss out on other things. But best news we've heard today is that Ten Hag is believed to be a fan of him. And apparently his personality is appealing. And you know what? As I've always said, at the end of the day, if Ten Hag wants this guy, I want him. If this is true, and it's come from Laurie Whitwell, so it's 9 times out of 10 going to be true. If this is the guy that Ten Hag wants, I think he probably is underrated. If this is the guy that Ten Hag wants, then I'm happy. my honest process is if Ten Hag's gone to the board and said, get me Weghorst, and they've gone and gotten Weghorst, then I'm not going to complain, because all I talk about is how the board need to go and deliver what Ten Hag want, how the board need to back Ten Hag. And if this is the guy that Ten Hag wants, and if Ten Hag would rather him than Memphis Depay and Thuram, then I will back that decision, because I back Ten Hag. I trust Ten Hag's judgment, and obviously he's got a personality as well. If this is what Ten Hag wants to do, then I back it. I'm happy with it. That is my honest thought process on the situation as well. 188 likes, guys. 12 likes away from 200 likes. We've got over 600 people watching. So, guys, please do go ahead and smash that like button. What are you doing? Go smash that like button as well. And do you think Ten Hag wanted Weghorst over Felix, or he couldn't get Felix? I still think to this day Felix is number one priority. And I think that maybe United just do not want to mess around with Atleti and waste this whole thing on a loan fee. Maybe Felix is going to Arsenal. Maybe United don't want to embarrass themselves like they did with Gakpo to Liverpool and then maybe drop Felix for him. Maybe we're going for both. I don't know. But maybe Ten Hag's realised that we can get this guy and United are like, boom, let's go get this guy. I mean, you don't know what's going on. I don't think we'll sign both him and Joao Felix. And if we do sign him, I think that's Joao Felix off, despite positive news surrounding Joao Felix today. I do think if we sign him, that's Joao Felix off. I just cannot see United going out there and signing both. But we will have to wait and see what happens with that, of course. But I assume that Ten Hag probably wanted him, but I don't know if he wanted him over Felix. We'll soon find out as well. And just need Tunas and the so-called experts to criticise the signing like they did with Eriksen, Casemiro and Martinez. Look how they've turned out. Yeah, exactly. If Tunas criticises a Man U signing, guys, trust me, it's a blessing in disguise. And the Glazers did not look back for Eric or Nunes or Gakpo or Felix. They did the same with Haaland and Alvarez. They did not back Eric, for them. And look, they don't. I just think the Glazers wanted the cheapest, easiest option as well. I mean, both would be good. I actually think we got Weghorst and Felix. It would actually be a good window. I think because that would be two varieties at strike and more depth. I think it would be a good window. But I don't see United signing two players. But if it's true that Erik Ten Hag is a fan of the player, then I am very happy with that as well. But I mean, it's a bit embarrassing to go from Gakpo to Felix to Weghorst, 100%. It's a bit of a comedy kind of signing, I guess. But I think he's the profile we do need. He's just not United. I don't think he's United standard. I don't think he's United level, but I think he's a profile we're missing. I think he's a profile we need. I've always said that as well. Here we go. Maybe, I'm not sure. I mean, it looks like it could happen, but we still need that killer update on it as well. And he's a missing piece right now. His aerial abilities are top notch. And we do need someone with good aerial abilities as well. Arsenal saying Felix prefers them. No, Arsenal just say. Remember, Arsenal fans said that Martinez would pick Arsenal over us. They were wrong. Arsenal fans just make up shit. What's going on is Arsenal are pushing more for Joao Felix than United. But because of Bruno, because of Diallo, Joao Felix is more open to United because of his connection with Bruno and Diallo. So basically, Gakpo would have preferred United to Liverpool because of his connection with Ten Hag. But Gakpo went to Liverpool because Liverpool were willing to pay the money for him and United weren't. This is the same with Joao Felix. Joao Felix probably would pick United over Arsenal if it came to a standoff because of his connection with the two players, Bruno and Diallo, which is what reports are saying. However, Arsenal are more interested in getting Joao Felix because they've got more freaking ambition than Manchester United. That is the report coming out on the front as well. Apparently, Laurie Whitwell's just given an update, guys, though, saying that this deal could be complicated. So we're looking for him, but he's just said this. He said, sounds like signing Weghorst would be quite a complicated deal with Besiktas expecting the 30-year-old to finish the season with them. They also have a €10 million option to buy. Presumably, it would require compensation from United for Besiktas to agree. So I do think this could be complicated because I think that Weghorst will push the move. He'll want to go to United, he'll push the move. But from the way it's sounding, we'd have to pay a €10 million fee. So this is the thing. This is the same it would cost to get Felix. From what's being said right now, we'd get him on loan, but we might have to pay a €10 million fee. So you might as well get Felix on loan and pay a €10 million fee for Felix on loan. It's an interesting one here because now Laurie Whitwell saying because of the loan to buy, they would need €10 million compensation. So Man United might have not realised that. Man United might have held talks, but might have not realised they'd have to pay €10 million because the reason we're backing out of the Felix deal is because we don't want to pay a certain amount of compensation as well. So maybe that's what they're doing. Maybe Weghorst is desperate for the move. He really wants to move, But will United pay the compensation? Because if they're fucking about and refusing to pay 10 million euros to get Joao Felix on loan, will they want to go and do this with Weghorst? This is one to take in mind. And Laurie Whitwell obviously found that inside information that we didn't know, saying that this actually could be complicated. They say that United like him, they think he'll fill a void. Ten Hag likes him. So Laurie Whitwell's confirmed we're interested in him. Laurie Whitwell's confirmed we've had talks with him. But Laurie Whitwell's now confirmed, you know what, guys? This deal could be difficult as well. February 2022, I had a birthday weekend in Brighton as part of a trip, and I saw the PL game between Brighton and Burnley. Burnley won 3-0, and Weghorst scored his first goal for the club and was man of the match. So he's capable of good Premier League performances as well. And could swear Gakpo talked to United, and United didn't talk to his agency. Gakpo spoke loads to United, but United didn't pay the money for Gakpo. But Gakpo did actually want United. He agreed personal terms as well. Gas says we can't even do a loan deal, right? Watch us fuck this up now. Watch us fuck this up. This will be funny as well. If we get both Gakpo and Weghorst, then no one will be complaining. I think you mean Felix, but yeah, I agree as well. But yeah, Newcastle reportedly lost 2-0 to Sheffield Wednesday, so that's Newcastle out the cup. But Newcastle got knocked out to Cambridge United last year as well. Evra spoke about Joao Felix, said he's an excellent player that's not happy at Atletico and wants to come to the Premier League and replace Ronaldo. So again, more sources in and around Joao Felix confirm he just wants to come to the Premier League and start for United or Arsenal, essentially as well. But I think with Weghorst, we've got to keep an eye on it, because if we've got to pay a loan fee and money, like Man United have no money, and United are going for the cheapest option. Laurie Whitwell said, I think United are likely to go for the cheapest option. If Weghorst, we're going to have to pay €10 million fee, we won't go for him. This is one that we're advancing on. The players started following us on Instagram and waving goodbye at the fans. But we might, United can't do a simple deal like Weghorst. Remember that as well. 30 minutes left for Newcastle to turn it around. And Haller and Huntelaar Singer to Weghorst, players to Hag likes. Exactly. I think they could very much thrive at Manchester United. But look, people, I'm going to wrap up today's live stream. If there's any more updates that come out tonight, do not worry, because I will be live to update you on any more news that comes out. Please do smash that like button, and of course do go ahead and subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football if you're new. If you want to stay up to date with all the latest Manchester United news, transfer news, updates and more, make sure you'll subscribe, because there's a video coming out tomorrow morning. If we get any here we goes done deals, I will update you guys. Tomorrow morning, I will be giving you the latest on Weghorst and Joao Felix amongst Ten Hag's interview tearing into the club. So big up, everybody. Thank you for watching today's video. See you next time. Smash a like on the way out, and bye.